So for those listening at home, this is what we do. We have a list. Jeff Bright, being an organizer, has a list of 300 different podcast episodes about. Then we get into an episode like our last one, and we're like, "Hey, let's talk about this."
Yeah,
because it's local or it hits, it's current or whatever it hits home. So we have no planned script. There's nothing happening here. And today I want to talk about. We read one of the DMs that came in was about a woman at a gym. Hey, we just read it online. Is there a gym that allows women only? Because I am in therapy because of feeling like I'm a piece of meat at a gym.
I was traumatized.
Traumatized. I'm like, is this happening right now? And this is a conversation I want to have on menopause. So let's get into it. The sweet taste of Kool-Aid.
So good.
Yes, I love Kool-Aid. Wait, can we talk about it being bourbon now that they're banned in Canada?
I can say bourbon. Bourbon doesn't matter.
Oh, just not name brand.
Yeah.
So, okay, perfect. So today's episode. So here's the deal. I just read a thing on our local township that's actually slurping through the thing.
That's ASMR or whatever it is. That is good.
I like it. I like that you
These
like
are
it.
insulated solo cups. Just so I did it.
It's
Red cups.
So, post on social media said, I am a woman looking for a gym that is female only in this town because, and you can't just leave it at that. The post didn't say, can anybody recommend a female only,
yep.
right? That it has to go on to say, because I don't feel, I was traumatized at my last one. I'm now in therapy and oh my God, it's affected my life forever. First of all, you're not looking for a gym. You're looking for attention.
Attention. Yep.
That's number one, right?
I strongly believe that.
Number two, I don't want you at any gym, even a female only one, because you're the one who's going to complain about this. I promise you.
I've seen the karma side of this. There's a guy actually on TikTok who is super in shape. He's a trainer.
Yeah.
And he's calling these women out.
I love it.
And showing the videos and what they're doing. And then now he started showing now what's happening in the gym. Now it's flipped. The girls are like, what's up with these men? How dare them? This episode should be Men Can't Win.
Well, it
Right?
should be.
It should be.
It should be.
And go ahead.
I'll go back. I'm curious to hear what you saw, because I see it on social media too, where girls pull out their phones and they're secretly hiding because they'll be on a treadmill in front of a guy lifting weights and they're like, oh, he glanced at me. First of all, yes.
Yeah.
You know who else did in the background? 6 other women.
Yeah. Everybody.
Because you're wearing
owner of the
you're
gym
wearing those
looked.
TikTok spandex that go down the crack of your ass with a little arrow that says, look at me, and probably writing across the back of it and then getting mad at somebody for looking.
Yeah. And I'll never forget. Because I always had the thing, well, but you had to be careful what you say about, I should be able to wear whatever I want. Hey, absolutely. But I'll never forget this one. It was a bodybuilding woman that said, you can wear whatever you want. The only people that should be wearing nothing, next to nothing, are bodybuilders who are looking to sculpt something. Not
100%.
Joe Blows, not,
100%. There's
you can see your results at home.
The argument that takes this is, it's the court argument of, hey, a girl went to a dance and she was violated afterwards or essayed, and it was, and then they go to court and it's like, but Your Honor, she was wearing a mini skirt. It may as well have had a stamp on it. And that should, and they're right. That's not an excuse for men to take advantage. There's no excuse for that. But if you're going to a gym and you're wearing a thong bikini, you're looking for, you didn't go to, come on.
Yeah. Well, I always ask this question, and this comes up a lot with girls. And I always ask because I'm like, I always say, why did you dress half naked? Or not half naked. Why did you dress scantily going out? Well, I feel good in it. Okay. Yeah. Was it to get attention? No, I don't want attention. Okay. So then why didn't you wear your joggers sweatshirt? Well, it doesn't make me feel good.
So I want to focus on the flip side of this. And I'm going to go back to a story. This is from several years ago, but I was in a relationship with a woman who had 2 teenage daughters, and they were looking for gym memberships in a decent sized city. And they came back and they said they were offended. We're not joining that gym. That gym has a policy that says if you're under 18 years old, you cannot wear spandex or tights or sports bra or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm joining that gym.
Yeah.
I'm joining. I was so excited and happy for that gym. I'm like, finally, somebody's standing up for the men in this.
Morals, yeah.
And they were so upset about it and offended by it. And how dare this gym put rules on what I can and can't wear? And here's the answer. probably the majority of their customers, or at least 50%, are men, and they're driving them away because if there's first of all, 16 and 17-year-olds are not built like they were 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're pre-programmed to look the way that they look when they're going to a gym. You don't often find a heifer, sorry about this, going to the gym at 16 years old saying, maybe you do, but it's usually the girls who are toned and want to stay in shape and
You'd
live
still
that
get
up.
the same amount of exposure whether you were large or small.
The
right?
thing is, I don't know. There's no,
Just
you
two
don't walk
different
away
versions.
around with a name tag saying I'm 17. I'm 18 next week, but this week I'm 17. And my God, if I'm wearing spandex or those TikTok pants that go down the crack of your ass, and I'm on a treadmill, and that 40-year-old man or 50-year-old man glances in my direction, I'm going to film it on my phone, and I'm going to publicly shame him so he loses his wife and kids and everything else. My God, thank God I wasn't part of that gym, because I'm telling you right now, I would glance. Not because it's
glance worthy.
If my grandmother
regardless.
walked by in spandex, I'm going to check out my own grandmother and be like, I'm going to naturally, my eyes are going to tilt down. You know who else's eyes are going to go that way? Every woman in the gym.
Everyone. Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
But it's we're going to get called out and publicly shamed for the men looking.
That's the issue.
That sucks. I'm afraid to go to a gym for that reason. And it's a double. Also for fear that I'll get any more sculpted than I am right now.
The spandex.
Yes.
One of the things that I had heard someone say, which I thought was interesting, was they said, you can wear whatever you want to a gym. Obviously, there are standards. You could legit wear underwear if you wanted to. Now, the thing that happens is these girls wear these outfits, which make them look attractive. So does every other influencer that wants attention on TikTok. So what the point was is this person said, you have seen every other influencer wear these things to get attention. So you cannot physically say, I'm wearing it because it's comfortable and that's it. It's general knowledge that you get attention by it. I think the worst part is these people are preying on people.
Which people?
Make the guys having a look.
It's bait.
Yeah, it's bait. And maybe. But I think if you're going to make a TikTok or a video of that specific thing, come on.
You're setting it up. It's like those guys that stand outside of police stations videotaping them. Those, what are they called? Police auditors or whatever. Oh, they're trying to trap them.
I know my rights.
Know what I mean? Oh my God.
It's probably
you just want to piss off.
So there's a TikToker guy, or I don't know what he is, an influencer. He's in shape and he's calling out a lot of these women and showing those videos and saying like, that's pretty douchey. Like that's and he's kind of going right into it saying like, you don't do that sort of thing. It's a very common sense approach to it. But now he's also showing the karma side of what's happening. And so there was a few where a girl was lifting something, filming herself, and needed a spotter. She couldn't lift it or got stuck. Nobody came and helped.
Yeah.
There's two guys in the background looking, and they're like, I'm not going to be a part of your video, because I know as soon as I go over there to help, what are you looking at? Why are you touching me? Why are you looking at me? Why are you, and that's not everyone. Like, we're really just picking on those certain individuals.
It is everybody.
It's become a thing.
It is everybody, because you know what? Here's one that I can name a couple public safety. We'll get off the gym topic for a second. So my background, I had some nightclubs. I'm standing out front one night of my nightclub. It was there was a minor. We knew she wasn't old enough, did not allow her in. I think there was a student dance or an all ages night or something like this. But point is, I factually know this girl is 16 years old, wearing a miniskirt, no panties. Do you know how I know she was not wearing panties? Because she was blackout drunk in the snow on Main Street, laying down with her skirt up over her hips. I'm staring at Clam.
Yep.
And there's me and another guy my age, both looking down at her saying, what do we do? Here's what we don't do. We don't touch it.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Touch her.
Her. That's a good starting point. Yeah.
We don't touch her. Is there a mom inside? Is there a woman who we can have help us out with this? Because no way am I touching a drunk teenager, underager, with her clam hanging out. No way. Now, 40 years ago, you don't even think about it because the chivalrous man is going to look and say,
No question.
let's put a blanket over top of her.
Mhm.
Let's call her parents or the police. Let's look after this situation. Not now, not in these days and age. No, not a chance am I touching this.
You know what incident that blew me away? That reminded me. I originally went to paramedic school, and one of the first things that they say now is you had to do is if someone is hurt, you have to walk up and say, "Hi, my name is Jeff. I am a first responder. Am I
Do I
allowed
have
to help
permission
you?
to touch you?
Not touch you, help you.
My
And
God.
then can I touch you?"
Right.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And everyone sat there and went, how can you ask that question? Like, how can you even remotely? You're the only one that should touch them. But that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. And karma, there should be a video of karma of people choking to death because I'm afraid to give them the Heimlich for fear I'll touch their nipple.
Now, in most times, that's not going to happen. You know, most people are going to be, thank you for, saving my life. And I had an instance years ago. We were out, driving the back roads, having some waters, and we came across a car in the ditch that was in a T-bone. This girl was, it was a bad accident. She was wrecked. Luckily enough, we found her, called the police, helped her get out, did the whole thing. The doctor had said like she would have died had she been any longer. It's a pretty proud moment of myself. I get a call from a lawyer like 2 weeks later. Where did the money in the stereo go that was in the car?
Oh my God.
Like, you've got to be kidding me. I have
Right.
no frickin' idea what you're even talking about.
Right.
What happened was the junkyard pulled it all out and put it in a box. Like,
But you were accused.
but I was accused instantly, and I'm like, I just saved this girl's life, and that's what I get. So it was
Yeah.
interesting, but that's kind of the same thing. Like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
These
man.
guys don't help these girls, and then now they're assholes because they don't help.
Yeah.
So then what do you do?
I'll give you another really good example. We're still talking about the gym thing, but when we're talking, it's not double standards. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Same previous relationship. And funny, this just came up in conversation the other day, but I was always accused of favoring my son. So at the time he was 10 and the girls were, 12 and 13 or something. And every night before bed, I'd lay down, tell him a story, cuddle him
Yep.
down with them, put him to sleep, do my thing. And it was, why are you a father to him and not the girls? Why aren't you laying down in bed with them, telling them stories, cuddling them to sleep? Because they're 12 and 14
Yeah.
is my answer. I don't know how to answer it any different. I love them. I think they're wonderful people. To this day, I'm not in that relationship and I have a relationship with them because
Mhm.
I spent but I'll be damned if I'm going to lay in bed with them and not even chancing it.
It's funny because growing up with when our kid growing up went to school, we became friends with a group of parents, kids of the same age, mostly all girls. And I was the typical playground. Everyone climbed on me. We would wrestle with everybody. Always have a good time. We'd go to house parties. The kids would climb on me, jump on me, wrestle with me, poke me. I had fun. I loved
Right.
having fun with these kids. They would dance and I would have to watch, and they would do these things and I have to watch, and I'd go through this whole thing, and it became like the guy that would always play with the kids, that would babysit.
Unky Jeff.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah.
But then they got 11 and 12, and then it become like, I don't
Right.
feel comfortable wrestling with you anymore.
Yep.
Not that I'm going to do
That's
anything.
a fair thing. Honestly,
it's just
that's
a
fair thing.
general thing. Like, first of all, I don't know how to. Oops! What if by accident? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm never going to do that. But
Further to that, I
it's
don't know that a
horrible to think that.
13-year-old girl knows the difference yet.
no, not 13. So not
I don't
13
think
was
they
different.
know what's
Yeah.
appropriate and not appropriate.
This was
And
11, 12.
they might even be confused. I get that, and it's a responsible thing for an adult male to be like, yeah, time for me to start.
Yeah,
to
we're done
stop.
here.
Yeah, we're done. I'm taking this. But back to the gym thing. That's at 17 years old. Hell, at 20 years old, at 30 years old, if you're gonna wear a trendy sexual influencer-esque outfit and then set up your video camera to say, look,
Setting
what
it
I
up is
found.
one thing.
Come on.
You know what's funny? It's hard to believe, but I have been in and out of gyms my whole life.
No, it is hard to believe.
But the last time I went,
Last time I had to tell you it was called a gym. You said Gaim. What's a Gaim?
it's called bar. Remember that the guy changed the name of his bar to gym?
Yeah.
But so I was kind of in there doing my thing, and there was a girl on the treadmill who was wearing like regular tights and a thing. She was in shape, And I appreciate, because I am not in shape.
Right.
So anybody that's dedicated their life to that, man, I kudos to you. I praise you. Like I put you on a way higher level than I can think of. And this girl was running on the treadmill and it was full. Like it was just motored. And she was freaking running. And I was in awe over this person trucking on this treadmill that fast. And I'm like, it's 10 minutes.
I've watched dudes do this and sat and watched them, like stared them down.
That's gay. But so I was looking at this girl who was an adult. She was same age, probably 30 or whatever it was. And she was just going, and 10 minutes went by, 20 minutes by, 30 minutes went by, and she didn't even break a sweat, and we just went going. And I sat there and I was staring. She got done and got off, and I said, please, no disrespect. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And I kudos to you for being in that good a shape. And I once again, I said, I appreciate the dedication. You look fabulous. You did fabulous. Good for you. She's like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you very much. That means a lot. I do work hard for this. Okay, let it alone. Didn't know I would meet her husband at a Christmas party a little bit later. And he's like, hey, I heard you're hitting on my wife.
Oh my God.
It was a joke. Okay. It was 100% joke.
Okay.
But I'm like, oh my God. And I can remember coming home thinking, I think I did wrong. I think I did bad because I made eye contact with a woman in the gym. And then I complimented her.
One of the things that's been on my list, and this is honestly, I have to go down that rabbit hole, but I remember it vividly, and I don't know that, you know me, I can quote any movie of all time back to the 60s. But there was a movie with Jennifer Aniston where she was lonely or broken up with or whatever, and she used the line and she says, I just want a guy to walk up to me in a shopping mall and say, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And not want sex in return, not want a relationship. It could be an 80-year-old man. Just tell me this and make my day because it's a sincere thing. And I'm like, huh. And I got to tell you, my wife does this all the time. She'll walk up to random strangers in restaurants and say,
it's easy for a woman.
Beautiful.
There's a double standard.
There's a double standard again. Or she could do it to men or women and just make their day with a compliment. And I think to myself, and there are times where I'll look at a woman who's, Jeff, I'm telling you right now, she could be 55 years old and, you know, a new grandmother or something like that, but just well put together.
Yep.
And I look and think, what a beautiful woman.
Yep.
Not, I want to bang her.
Yeah.
Not, I want to be in a relationship with her. Just, wow, that's stunning in a professional manner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just want to walk up and make their day and say, I want nothing in return. Just here's a genuine compliment of, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
Whatever you did today, you look beautiful. Probably make their whole day. And I want nothing in return. One, I can't.
There's
My
a way
wife
to
would
do
be
it.
Jealous. There may be a way to do it. Now, if I see it, I'll maybe sometimes say that to my wife. Like, you should say something to them. Yesterday morning for breakfast, she went up to a couple at a restaurant and said, you guys look so cute and cozy together. And I'm like, cool. That was a nice compliment. She complimented the both of them.
Yep.
I could never.
Oh.
Because I'd be hitting
You're
on
the
that
pervert.
girl. I'm the
You're
pervert.
the
I'm the whatever. And that's a shame that we can't be who we want to be.
Had this happen 2 weeks ago. We were walking through Costco, and me and my wife.
A lot of hot people at Costco.
And city people.
I get it.
Different than small town people. This woman walked beside me and had beautiful hair, something that I really, really enjoyed. I had turned. It happened in a split second. I turned. She was beside me. I said, whoa, you have beautiful hair. That is amazing. And she stopped and kind of looked at me and went, she kind of stuttered or, shuddered a little bit and kind of looked at me strange, caught her off guard for sure, but then was like, oh, okay, thank you or something. And then I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like offend you or anything. And then she just kind of walked away. And then I looked at I'm like, I don't know what I just did. I don't know if that, and she's like, you made it awkward. Had you not just left the compliment? I'm like, I know, but I felt horrible because it was reciprocated in a weird way, but she probably felt weird because it happened so quick.
Let me give you the flip side.
Now, what if my wife said that?
What if somebody said it to your wife? There's a question for you. You're walking through Costco and somebody walks up and says,
oh, no, it's a fight. Because I hate people in Costco. I hate everyone.
Okay.
So if you walk in front of me, I'm smashing into you. You compliment me. You look at my, like, I'll seriously, we'll let my wife wear low-cut shirts just so we can get people so we can fight. It's awesome. We make it a point.
Legit though. I love it because I can picture you doing it. And that's the funniest thing ever. But
sorry, not to interrupt. My son will even, every time if he comes with you, before we even get into the building, he'll say, Dad, come here for a second. And we'll have a family meeting.
Got to give you the debrief.
We're just going in. we're just going to go get a few things. We're not going to smash anybody. We're not going to fight. We're not going to have an argument. And he's like, I won't even go now because every time we
love
go
it. Oh, we
It's
always
hilarious.
laugh about, I hope that my wife watches this
But
episode
I wish
because
she
I have
would.
to
I
give her
wish
the
she
pep
would.
talks.
But
Okay, we're
how-
going to a restaurant that I've never been to before. I'm going to be checking out everything. I'm going to be distracted. I love you. We may find somebody I know
Yeah.
who I haven't seen in 20 years. If I don't introduce you,
Yeah.
it's because I don't know their name. Got to give that pep talk.
Yeah. Do you know what? I
It's funny you need it too.
yeah, totally different ways. The funny thing though, when you talk about, someone coming up and saying that to my wife, I would be grateful because I always say, "Oh my God, did you see that guy just like eye bang you the whole way?" No, I never see that. I never see this.
Under the I hate. We were in Vegas at this outlet mall, and I saw this shirt, and I'm like, "You have to have it." It was this orange fuzzy thing that covered it. It was stunning, and I'm like, "I got to see you in this." And she put it on. I'm like, "You're wearing it out of the store." As we're walking down this, I don't know, mile long mall, I'm like, I am counting the glances you get, and so I walked.
Is this your wife?
Huh?
This is your wife?
This is my
shirt?
wife.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm walking 5
Is
feet.
it like a slutty shirt?
It was hot. It
Okay.
was, it was hot. So I'm walking 5 feet behind her. I told her, we're not holding hands. I'm walking 5 feet behind her. I'm watching. And I'm looking at every married guy, every old guy, every guy sitting on a bench in a mall with the shopping bags for their wives. And I'm watching for that famous eye
Zink.
that just zink,
Yep.
zink, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's not just the one staring at them coming. I like to walk 5 feet behind so I can see their head go yoink. Because you know what's happening.
yeah.
It's front and back. It's the once over. 26.
Oh,
And I'm calling it out loud. She can hear me from 5 feet behind her. I'm like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like counting the seconds. It was every guy she passed.
yeah.
If we passed 40 guys, 26 of them were bang, 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 making it obvious. There were guys in sunglasses where I'm like, I can see their eyebrows
Yeah, you
wiggling.
can see
'cause
their-
you
their-
know
their
what's
cheeks
happening.
moving.
I wear sunglasses for that reason. But I'm like, I left there feeling like the cock of the walk,
Yeah.
the king of the world. Like, I've made fire. Like, I'm like, my wife's hot.
I was going to say this earlier when you asked about what would you do if somebody, I said they don't. And the reason essentially why is because we are big men.
Yeah. Right.
Like stature wise. I
Yeah.
know I'm way
It-
overweight.
no.
Still,
Yeah. They'd be
we
intimidated.
both
to come up.
tower over our wives. So
Yeah.
it's the likelihood of like most guys would never say a
If
thing.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's walking through with, the hottest chick in the world, I'm not going to go up and go, you're bagging.
Yeah. I might now. He's getting old. Right?
He is getting old.
That
I
brings-
still wouldn't take him
That
to
mean-
fight.
I would, because that's a lawsuit. That dude's got money.
Oh, that's true.
Oh my God, I would
Yeah.
never walk again.
Let him knock
My
you
neck
out.
would be broke. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I would legit be. What that brings me to another point about this whole gym thing is I don't know if you've seen these where girls will put their phones in their back pocket.
Who's staring at my ass? Everybody.
and count
Everybody that
every-
passes you.
You have worked that thing out. You have done donkey kicks and squats for hours and days and months and years to make that ass bang.
So that people look at it. Don't tell me it's so that you can poop
it's
better.
it's for health reasons.
Right.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
squat better when I defecate in the toilet. No,
Right.
it is 1,000%
You're
for
looking for
looks.
attention.
Because those jeans look good on you. You didn't buy them because
This circles right back, and we can almost wrap this up. This circles right back to the girl who writes on social media and says, looking for a female gym. There's a period at the end of that, and it's the end of the sentence.
all I gotta
Please
do.
help me out. The
Stop.
second you further off with because blah, 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 and I'm in therapy, you're not looking
Stop
for a gym.
seeking
You're
attention.
looking for attention.
stop seeking
I
attention.
love that you pressed that button. That's the end of the episode. Stop seeking attention. Yeah.
You ungrateful.
You cocksucking
You sons
whore. Good episode, Jeff. Right?
Thanks, my man.